Hey guys, I'm back with a new video, and this time I'm painting Spider-Man, my favorite character. Except this time I'm painting like 4 of them. Uh, I just wanted to, okay? Because I love them all very much. So anyway, I started off by painting Amazing Spider-Man's Peter. Honestly, I missed him a lot. And I just rewatched his movies, so that's nice. um, I thought he'd be really interesting to paint, so he's basically what started this art series. Um, for this one in particular, this art piece, I kinda ended up picking a super blurry reference for this, and that's something I usually try not to do to myself because it makes things more difficult, but I honestly thought it looked too cool not to try. I thought the colors were interesting and I wanted to play around with that. And so this one just turned out kind of super sketchy, but I really like the colors, so yeah. So next up is Homecoming Peter, my favorite Peter. Which this one I started painting in a different way than I'm used to. I started with a sketch and then was going to start painting in colors, but they were so bright it was hard to find my image. So I ended up using gray in the background. And it really helped me see what I was working on because it provided some contrast that I didn't really have before when I was working with a white background. Because when I started working with those bright colors, it was just it was too bright. It was working on an already bright color and then adding more bright. uh, but I really ended up liking the loose, blocky sort of way I was applying colors in the beginning stages of this. You could still see like some of that gray color in the back still coming through, and I don't know, I just really thought it added something to it. It it gave it more dimension or something, at least in my opinion. But I like it when I do something different in my art process, kind of like that. It's really neat, you know. Well, for this one, I I really liked adding texture to this piece. It was really fun. Um, Sometimes I go overboard with the textures, but I don't know, it's fun adding these weird abstract things in the background of a piece because I don't know, it just feels like I'm creating something more. And by the way, these are like going in order from which I started working on them. And so now we're moving on to Miles from Into the Spider-Verse. And if you haven't watched this movie, please go watch it. It's so good. Like, what are you doing? Go watch it. And I know that technically it's kind of its own thing. Spider-Verse is like kind of its own thing over there, but I wanted to include Miles because I love him and I love his character, and I love this movie, and I don't know, I wanted to see if I could draw him or, attempt because I think he's really cool. I just really love Miles. He's just a great character. And I really love this, like, art style. It's very, it's, it's so artistic. Just the way this movie is done. It's a really beautiful movie. And, I just thought it would be really fun to try to draw him. And here I am repeating myself, but it be like that sometimes, you know? It just be like that. And I ended up adding probably way too much texture to this one. But I was partially thinking about how Miles does spray paint art. And I kind of wanted to reference that in this piece just for fun because I, I just thought it was really cool that he did that in the movie. Have you seen his suit? Like, the art style, it's so good. Just the way they implemented that spray paint art style is just phenomenal. I love it. I'm crazy about it. And the sunflowers in this, like the abstract little sunflowers on the sides, those are of course also a reference, and they're referencing the Spider-Verse song, of course, the sunflower one. So yeah, and I had fun just doing a bunch of up and down texture because it was neat. So, and here we are on the last painting in this series. We're moving on to Spider-Man 1, which is the one that I started with. I watched this movie first, and it was sort of my introduction to the character Spider-Man. So it's pretty special. Um, Very nostalgic. And so, anyway, this painting, this one was pretty weird. I kept struggling a lot with the background as well as some of the um, features on his face for some reason. I had to keep moving them around and adjusting things, and the background ended up being way crazier than I anticipated. And it just gets crazier as I go, and I kept messing with it, so even up until like right at the end, I just kept messing with it, and I didn't feel like anything like came together there until I added the spider webs. I don't know why. It was just, I don't know, it felt more right, I guess. Which is kind of funny, but um this one actually has a decent bit of contrast on the face, and I was kind of happy that ended up happening in this process. Um, and the background ended up having a lot of personality, and it was fun adding so much abstraction to it and playing around with brushes that I had hardly even seen in Procreate. The app I'm using to paint this, This one just has a lot of texture. I used like this one brush that like mainly for his face that was just a textured brush. It had a lot of personality on its own. And it was nice just playing around with having so much texture in a piece. So yeah. But this was a fun series of sorts to make. I love these characters and it was interesting trying to paint them. I hope you enjoyed the video and me just like rambling and whatnot. Thanks for watching.